In a remote part of the countryside, there stood an old, abandoned house with whispers of a haunted past. Sara, a bright-eyed child of merely 8 years, lived in this eerie house with her mother. The townsfolk often spoke in hushed tones about the place, but for Sara and her mother, it was simply home. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a heavy silence cloaked the air, only to be pierced by the creaking of timber and the distant hoot of an owl. Tonight felt different, colder, more malevolent. Sara was tucked away in her small room, shivering beneath her blanket as the candle flickered, casting long shadows on the walls. Her mother whispered a good night from the doorway, her face etched with an unspoken worry. It wasn't long before Sara's eyelids grew heavy, lulling her to that delicate space between dream and reality. The whispers began faint at first, rising from the very floors and walls. They seemed to call her name, growing louder, more insistent. Sara! Sara! Fear gripped her, but she crawled out of bed, drawn to the voices. She tiptoed down the hallway, heart pounding in her chest, every creak of the floorboards echoing in the oppressive silence. From the corner of her eye, she saw fleeting shapes, barely their figures flitting between the shadows. Outside her mother's room, the door slightly ajar, an uncanny glow seeped through the gap. Gathering every ounce of courage, Sara pushed the door open. Her mother sat in the center of the room, eyes wide with terror, unable to move, words failing her, a spectral figure towering over her, its presence suffocating, cold, and unforgiving.